Hi Wahiga, we're coming up to the elections. What would you like your leaders to know and what do you hope for?
I would like my leaders to know that I am one of those generations that has been hopeless and helpless for a very, very long time. What is going to make me vote for you? What is my initiative to vote for you? I am one of the lucky few who is privileged enough to get a tertiary education, but I've been sitting home for the past 2 years looking for jobs on a daily basis, and I haven't been able to get any. I have exhausted all my networks. I have exhausted going to offices. I have exhausted everything, and I cannot find a job. And that isn't because I'm not smart enough, I'm not able enough. I have tried everything, but there's something very wrong with our society if people who have graduated university, or even people who have just gone through high school, cannot simply get an able and they cannot find a way to live, a decent way to live. And there's something very wrong with that. In this country, you need networks. You need to know who's who in order to get into any organization. I don't believe in that. I don't subscribe for that. What happened to freedom? What happened to equality? Why did I spend all these years, all that money my parents spent to go to high school, to go through school? Is the system rigged already? What was all of that money going to do a BA in journalism if I can't be on TV doing broadcast media? What was the point? So I urge our leaders to look into this. Make the job search equal, not down to networking and who's who. That's elitism. I do not subscribe for that. Second thing, the mental health crisis in this country. Suicide rates are up. Alcoholism is up. Psychologically, we have a problem as a country, and nobody seems to want to talk about it. Yes, the newspapers and journalists may sensationalize it, but this is far more than a story once in a while in the papers. These are people's lives. People turn to alcohol, to drugs, to sex, to gambling, to food, because they have deep traumatic scars that have come from a place that only good rehabilitation, good counselling, good medical attention and care from practicing physicians can really get to the root of. And because we are all human beings, we all have a mental faculty, we all have the right to get access to mental health access. Why is it? Because I came from a family, very privileged, as I've acknowledged, that I was able to get into a facility that eventually helped me see ways that I can get help to deal with my alcoholism. I am a recovering alcoholic. I just celebrated 5 years sober. But I was able to finally see the signs and the trauma that I went through in my early childhood that led me to rely on alcohol, which is essentially a drug. Now, if so many Kenyans have the disease of alcoholism, because it is a disease, alcoholism is not a behavioral issue, it is a disease. Addiction is not something that you want on yourself. It is simply a disease. If we have so many people who cannot get access to that help that they so very desperately need, obviously they're going to turn to ways of crime, suicide, or just other really deplorable ways to get seen, heard, or not. And they may die. And they have been dying in big numbers. Government, what are you doing? What is Madare? What is Nakada doing? I don't see Madare or Nakada holding, PSAs or coming into the community at least once a month, especially where alcoholism, especially where drug addiction is so high. I don't see these people coming out and holding campaigns and trying to inform the youth or the affected people of what alcoholism or addiction is. I'm using my story to help the next addict, one person at a time. I'm using my story to help the next alcoholic, one alcoholic at a time. But that's too slow. we need the help of the government to help to ensure that we actually have a future generation, a functioning generation, a generation that is mentally well above everything else. Otherwise, if we're not mentally well, nothing can ever stem from that. So these are the two big things I have: unemployment and mental health issues, and of course the economy, of course. Thank you.
Thank you.